Okay, Friday, October 23rd, and still not finished with my greenhouse. Raining today. Doing some work inside the greenhouse on the plants, but still has some finishing up here. Put some tin. Figure out what I'm gonna do up high. Still got to run plastic down this side, which is waiting on some. I've got the plastic already, but this baseboard here, which is aluminum, and it has a groove made into it that the plastic goes into. I've still got from about right there down to do, and this top piece, there's a section down there where the plastic's hanging I still haven't got done. Also on this side, had some stuff coming down here. I've got to tighten that plastic up, but got some more baseboard to do at the bottom, and then the back wall. That's probably the biggest thing so far still to do, but working today mainly on transplanting some things. Went and got me a wheelbarrow of soil out of the chicken pen and mixed it with a bag of sphagnum moss and went to potting. So I just wanted to kind of run through here and show you. Have some scorpion peppers from seed. I mentioned this before. I had both some or from fruits that I bought at the store, seeds from store-bought fruit. Had some red and some yellow scorpion peppers, and I got them mixed up. I thought these were the red scorpion, so I'm not sure if that was just going bad. It's kind of cold weather. That could prove out that I got them backwards. If that's the yellow, then all these I just transplanted are the reds, or vice versa. The night blooming cereus cactus, queen of the night. We actually did some got some blooms fixed to come on it, but we hand pollinated some of the blooms, and here we've got fruit. And I actually had a fruit last year, and I tasted it. It is edible. It was nothing to write home about, but it was sweet. And that's my poor little avocado tree that suffered this year from sunburn after being chewed on by squirrels. This is a Eugenia species of plant. Was given to me. I'm not sure which plant. There's actually a couple of them in that pot. Probably something like Suriname cherry. We'll see when that comes up. I have here a couple of mame sapotes I gotta separate out into different pots. My what I think is a miwa kumquat, well, it's supposed to be a miwa kumquat, froze to the ground and then came back. It's not trifoliate, but it could be some other type of rootstock that was used. It hasn't fruited. I'll show you the parent trees in a minute. This was actually cutting rooted off of the parent trees, but they haven't fruited in the last couple of years, flowered or nothing. So then there's a bunch of white datura devil's trumpet seeds that came from seed earlier this year in a pot. This is my papaya tree nursery or section, whatever. I did a bunch of separating, potting up earlier. Still got a few pots that have several in it that need to be separated out. While we're on the subject of that, show you again the one that came from seed this year on its own, a volunteer. Them were from this year. You see how big they are over there. This one is probably 6 feet from the ground up to the nearly 6 feet to the top of the. It's over 6 feet to the tall leaves, but I'm just talking about the trunk. And look at that thing. That sucker's huge. So we're going to try to protect that. But anyways, Continuing down this side wall, I just dug up from the garden and put in this pot my red ghost pepper, and I'll be cutting it back for the winter. And winter's not the best time to do it, but as far as rooting cuttings, but I'm going to try to root everything I cut off of there. Have a Chico sapote, grew from seed in that pot. The rest of these are black sapotes, also called the chocolate pudding fruit. This is I just brought this big sucker in. So the cool weather we had here a while back kind of did it in. Still got peppers all over. This is a yellow ghost. There's 2 plants in here actually, and they just finished their 3rd year for me. And look at this, they're still just kicking. Peppers everywhere. And what we have down inside here, and they're fruiting also, is cuttings I've started off of these. And I'll do the same thing. I'll cut these back later on and stick the branches. The branches that I cut off, I'll stick them and try to root them. Like I said, it's a kind of a poor success rate for me in the wintertime. Have more peppers here, chili peppers. This is the bird's eye. Love these little peppers. Pretty spicy. And again, this one was outside and it caught the weather pretty hard, but it'll be okay. We'll trim it back, give it a haircut. Now that one grows so easy from seeds, I'm not even going to try to root no cuttings on it. They're so small anyways. Fine branches. These, they're not as bushy, but they're taller. These are seedlings that just come up in the last few months in some of my other pots. And everywhere one of these little peppers falls, you got plants. In fact, I think I've got another pot over there in front of the house that probably has 10 or 12 baby plants in it. So, got some baby bird's eye peppers there. These tall plants, they're reaching, say, 7.5 plus feet, maybe close to 8. Or the miwa kumquats. I guess that's how you say it, miwa. That froze back a few years ago. They come back with a vengeance. They are a little bit thorny now. I don't remember if they were before. But that wouldn't be no problem if they would produce. But they have not flowered or anything, so we'll see. They're healthy, whatever it is. If it proves that these are just some kind of root stock, then I may try to get some scions and graft onto it what it's supposed to be. Have some angel trumpet plants here, a couple small ones, my bigger ones here. These 2 big pots, they're looking kind of poor. Some of this cool weather cooked them. They're still trying to put on flowers for me. Look at these, I got buds coming. These are beautiful, beautiful big old flowers. Have all my little figs I didn't want to leave out in the weather. Texas everbearing. There's an unknown I got from Kilgore, Texas. So that's what I'm calling it, Kilgore Unknown. It ripens into a green fig. Got some LSU golds here. Started from cuttings that were given to me. Ronde de Bordeaux, both of these, and then a blackjack fig. Being that small in the pots, I didn't want to leave them out in the winter. I've got some other larger fig trees that are out there that'll stay out. Moringa trees here and here, grew these from seeds last year, and this past winter they froze. You see where it's like a stump. They froze back, that one to there, and thought they were goners, but they came back for me. And I trimmed it to here earlier this year, or probably maybe a month ago, and to promote branching. Got my banana clusters, my bananas here, cluster of trees. That's a dwarf Cavendish. Not sure what this one is. It could be I believe it's a Cavendish variety. And then this taller one, I've had that one a couple years, but I've had to cut it back every year, and it's gotten cool, so hadn't had enough a long enough season for it to fruit. That's supposed to be a ladyfinger variety. Now this past winter, I should say, it suffered greatly in the spring. I cut it all the way back down to here because had a bunch of rot. I cut it down to a stump. And she came back for me. Love my bananas. And just some little house plants here. Got several plants, mandevillas and ferns, and ivies and stuff hanging around here. Ginger. I grow this from grocery store ginger, and it's doing pretty good, spreading. And that over there's turmeric. Once I get this greenhouse finished, all this stuff will actually be planted in the ground in here. And here's my avocado trees, little avocado nursery. Multiple trees in each one of these pots. And so I will be coming through here this sometime before next spring and separating them out into their own pots so I can do some grafting. Have a seedling of Subel white sapote here. Some other seedling white sapotes, I'm not for sure the variety. Then I have a grafted Smathers white sapote. Pretty proud of. Quite a few seedlings here of yellow dragon fruit through here. And these plants over here are the Stapelia gigantea, the starfish flower. Beautiful, makes a beautiful flower. Some various dragon fruits there. These 4 little pots are my little finger sop plants. Fairly rare. Fairly rare. Didn't have an easy time getting a hold of some of them, but I've got them. And I'm thankful to have them. Got my Thai basil, purple basil. And there's the Thai basil. I love that stuff. Tastes like licorice, black licorice. Sweet basil here and purple basil. Dug them up out of the garden, potted them, moved them inside. Some hostas, some airplane plants. It's a little decorative spot there. Move them back around. Have 3 little pots here of rooted cuttings of Meyer lemon. Now that back one isn't doing the greatest, but these 2, they tried flowering for me earlier in the year, and they were so small I just pinched the flowers off, give them some more time. This is fully alive. It just went dormant on me. It's a seedling of Wabash Papaya. Another year or so I'll be putting that outside, planting it in the ground outside. Lychee plants from seed here. And I was talking about doing cuttings of my pepper plants. Well, these are 4 or 5 cuttings of my habanero that are doing great. I'm going to be digging the mother plant up later. So I'll show you in a minute. It's on the other side of that ladder. And bringing it in, potting it, bringing it in. My plumerias. I have a couple plumeria plants here. Hopefully, maybe next year they'll flower for me. Don't know. My royal Poinsiana or flamboyant plants here grew from seed. Got a few more seeds inside. This I'm calling my Elizabeth orange. It was a friend of mine gave it to me, and I believe the story is it come from seed from an orange tree at her mother's or grandmother's place in Mexico. So I'm just calling that Elizabeth. Elizabeth, if you see this, you'll know who I'm talking about. Brita giant. Medlar. I've never really had medlars, but I do now. I've never ate them. I don't really know much about them, but had one given to me. It's a grafted tree. And I have a cherimoya seedling here that had 20 or 30 cherimoyas last year. grew from seedling and lost most of them over the winter to squirrels and stuff getting into where I had them at over the winter. This one survived, so that's from last year's. And ice cream bean, an ice cream bean doing wonderful, putting on new growth. Love the looks of the leaves on these. Spineless cactus, of course, you know, aloe vera. We have here the can't even think straight. Pride of Barbados. I don't know why I was going to say bird of paradise. Some people call it that, I think. Pride of Barbados, a couple of plants from seeds. And several pots of my trifoliate orange that I'll be using to graft citrus onto. So that's most of what I have in a nutshell in here right now. I know this video's been long. Got a few more things over here. Carolina Reaper, 7-pot douglas, pepper plants. In fact, I need to take them and stick them over here in the lineup. I'll put them over here next to my red ghost. There y'all go. And this shelf is mainly for seedlings. I have a cherimoya. I have several cherimoya seedlings in here, and I'll probably be moving them down. Bought a big old huge guava at the Mexican market, and it was white inside, green on the outside, pretty large, probably as big as a softball. I'm thinking it was tropical, hence the question marks there, tropical guava, and I've got seedlings coming up. I'm not sure about my sugar apple seeds. They've been going for a while. My sour sop, opuntia or prickly pear cactus. I had a planted seeds of an orange fruited variety that I had eaten. Orange prickly pear. It was different from the others. Had a different flavor. So let me get outside the greenhouse here. Walk through that wall that doesn't exist. This is my habanero plant. It's laid way over. I picked some off of it earlier. It's just been producing like crazy, and there's still there's just peppers all over it. And I hate to cut it back right now or dig it up, but pretty soon I'm gonna have to. Peppers all over it. Some more plants I'm gonna have to dig up here. I got these seeds from a Spanish Mexican friend of mine. I brought them from Mexico. Mirasol, I think I'm saying that right. Peppers, and let's see if I picked a couple of them. They're kind of long and they're yellow also. So I think there's a red fruited variety out there, but these are yellow. So I'll be bringing them in the greenhouse. Look at here. I don't know if a rabbit or dog or what got in here and decided to chomp on one, and that's that's all they got. These things are pretty spicy. I don't know why they did that anyways. My cayenne pepper plant, I'll be digging that one up. I'm not really going to mess with this banana pepper. Digging it up. But anyways, that's some of what I've got going on. Not everything. The zinnias are they're kind of looking terrible, the plants, but they still add some beauty and color around here. We were really proud of our zinnias this year. They were awesome. But hope y'all enjoy this. I know it's been long. Hope everyone's had a good year this year, and God bless.